Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. Got the Medico Foursquare out today. No particular reason other than I just hadn't smoked this guy for a while and wanted to give him a smoke. And there is, though, something about what I'm wearing today. Hat, some interesting buttons and things on my coat, and even some ones that you can't quite see yet, but you will. So what's that all got to do with anything? You're about to find out. Folks, as always, let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. In 1908, G.K. Chesterton, Gilbert Keith Chesterton, wrote a book called Orthodoxy. It's been a very popular book for over 100 years. Many of you may know it. And recently, well, I'm holding this up here. Unfortunately, I do not own a hard copy of Orthodoxy, and that's on me. That's a shame on me. I need to get a hard copy of it. But I am going to read you a bit from it that I've got here on my computer. And he says, "It is the happy man who does the useless things. The sick man is not strong enough to be idle. It is exactly such carelessness and causeless actions that the madman could never understand. For the madman generally sees too much cause in everything. He is not hampered by a sense of humor or by charity." Now, Chesterton wrote some pretty serious stuff. Certainly some very serious stuff regarding the Christian faith. So he's a serious guy. But I like what he says about being idle. I'm going to pull the quotation up again here so I make sure I've got the wording correctly. But about the useless things and having a sense of humor and charity. Now, let's be very clear at the outset here, right? This is not about being ridiculous. This is not about blowing off responsibilities. It's not about failing to take things seriously that you should take seriously, right? So quick word on that. All right? It really is not appropriate to show up to your friend's funeral dressed in a clown suit with a big honking red nose. Unless, of course, your friend was a clown and would really appreciate that. But in all seriousness, you don't do that, right? That's kind of disrespectful. There are times to be serious. But I would agree with Chesterton in this, that it's the truly serious-minded person who knows how to have fun, who knows how to do meaningless things. You know, we always end the videos here with something that Malcolm Guite liked to say: "I do these little things in order at last to do nothing." Now, Malcolm Guite's an intelligent guy. He's a poet. He's a writer. He's a scholar. And I think if you asked anybody who knew me, they would say that I'm a fairly serious guy. I teach Latin. You've seen it on this channel. We talk philosophy. We talk poetry. We talk theology. These are big and serious matters. Well, I think if you asked my students, my friends and my family as well, they'd also say, he's a funny guy. I have several buddies that when we get together, and these are some colleagues at my school and other friends, that when we get together, man, we're just cutting up. We're making everybody laugh, and we're having a good time. For example, I'm wearing my hat for Striper. They got their start in the 80s, hair metal band. I'm wearing my jean jacket. We'll see what we can show you here. I've got my Striper button, Striper patch, Chaotic Resemblance. Another one of my favorite Christian metal bands. What else am I got on here? We'll see if we can show you. Got some other striper buttons here. Got, there it is. Got the band from Angelic Forces. Angelic Forces out of the Netherlands, another Christian metal band. Over here, I got Obi-Wan Kenobi. And, ooh, he moves. Look at that. His lightsaber arm moves. My children got me that when we were in Florida at Disney World a few years ago. They also got me, when we were out in Wyoming, this sheriff's badge, Wyoming sheriff's badge, because of my fondness for Longmire, the fictional character created by Craig Johnson, the Longmire novels and the series that used to be on A&E and then Netflix and so forth. Friends, I love my jean jacket. It takes me back to the 80s when a lot of us had jean jackets and we wore the buttons and the patches and the things of our favorite bands, and it was cool. And I love wearing this stuff. This is great, man. And it brings out the child in me. Now, I can sit there and talk about subjunctive mood and Latin verbs all day long. I can sit there and talk theology. We can sit there and talk history. We can sit there and talk poetry. But I also love doing fun, kind of pointless things as well. Fun, harmless little pranks, things that make people laugh. Love telling jokes, making up jokes. My friends and I like to sit around and we'd like to create scenarios that we tell you, hey, that would have been a great skit on Saturday Night Live. Let me go back to Chesterton again. It is the happy man who does the useless things. And he contrasts that with the sick man who is not strong enough to be idle. There are those people who have to be working all the time. Got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. And maybe it's stuff for work, their place of employment, or maybe it's as soon as they get home, now I got to start working around the house, I got to do this, I got to do that. They can't just relax and have a little bit of fun from time to time. And he makes the point, he says, you know, the madman, the crazy person can't understand careless and causeless actions. He says, for the madman generally sees too much cause in everything. One of the things I think we've lost in the modern world is our sense of humor. We see too much cause in everything. Sometimes there's no cause. Sometimes there's no purpose. It's just having fun. Not everything has to be about some momentous cause. Now understand, there are causes for which I would give my life. I hope I would. I hope I care enough about the Christian faith. I hope I care enough about my relationship with Jesus Christ that I would lay down my life for him and the faith. I hope I would. That's a serious cause. You know, Jesus' first miracle, the first of his signs, as John puts it in the Gospel of John, was when he turned water into wine at the wedding of Cana. You honestly think Jesus would have been invited to a wedding party if he had been a stick in the mud? I mean, seriously, consider that for a moment. We're thinking about Jesus, second person of the Holy Trinity, made flesh. Yes, that's absolutely true. But that story tells me right there that Jesus had to be a reasonably pleasant person, if not outright fun, at a wedding celebration. You're not going to invite a curmudgeon to an event like that. And right, he goes on to say, Chesterton goes on to say, he makes the comment, he says, the madman is not hampered by a sense of humor. And then he adds, or charity. Oh, there it is, friends. Charity, the old-fashioned word for love. Charity, which is the English word that comes from the Latin word caritas, which means love. Friends, love and humor and joy and silliness and things with no particular purpose, they go together. So I would encourage you, don't take yourself too seriously all the time. Now, there are times, again, you got to do it, but don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take other people, don't take other things so seriously all the time. So I got a question for you. Are you able to do that? Now, I have a hunch. If you're watching this channel and you're a pipe smoker, you probably are. We talk about this all the time in the pipe communities. Right? People who smoke pipes really do like to enjoy things, slow down. Right? Slow down, hurried pace of life. So chances are, if you're watching this channel, you are one of those people who knows how to do nothing, knows how to have some leisure and so forth. So tell us about that. Is that hard for you? Is that easy for you? I will tell you, there have been times it has been very hard for me. It's one of the reasons I've enjoyed the piping hobby is because I have had that tendency to work all the time and just be doing something all the time and not be idle. I kind of lose my sense of humor. Now, I'm sure you could tell us stories about crabbed personalities and stick in the mud. We don't want to hear that. We all know those kind of people. We don't need to hear that. Tell us some stories, though, about people you know who they're able to have fun. They're able to relax. They're able to enjoy life. They've got their sense of humor. And quite frankly, they can do those things that don't really have any purpose at all. Friends, as I say, as Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.